Okay, and so we are doing this live. So this is actually my second recording for this. I did my first recording, and I made the mistake of referencing the footage I was planning on cutting, in the recording, and then in both instances, it ended up not working out because I'm like, hey, I'll probably do Monster Hunter recording, and that didn't work. And then in the recording, I'm like, then if that doesn't work, I'll do Guild Wars footage, and then I couldn't actually find anything interesting to film. So here we are, round 3 or round 2 with the audio, round 3/4 with the audio making, because also this morning I was looking to do TF2 footage, and then I couldn't find a server with more than 2 people that wasn't a trade server, and I don't know how to make a trade server interesting. So we're actually looking at some more Dead Cells now, which actually came out of our early access this week. Go team. So this week in gaming, I played a decent amount of Dota 2 with my brother, which was really awesome. I also got to play with my friend Michael. That went, most of the games we played with them was really fun, though I was feeding a bit. But there were definitely some games where that went to my advantage, and I think we did really well. I think the problem is, as much as so the international is coming up, and I really like Liquid because they're a really conservative team, well, not they're really conservative, but really they have a very flexible play style, and it goes and it adapts and it moves. I tend to play, I think I play really typical NA, and I have I play in a way where I need to be ahead, and then I just snowball really well, but if I'm not ahead, I do have trouble playing from behind. But it was good. And I look forward to it next week. I think actually next week I'm going to start playing some ranked games. We'll see how that goes. Played Guild Wars 2. I joined a guild. I did a fractal night, which is kind of just like doing some dungeons. And that was really fun. That might be like a regular Wednesday night thing that I do now. We'll have to see. Maybe it'll be a Friday night thing instead. Again, we'll have to see. So it is fun being involved with the guild, and they have some forums that I post on and have a good time with. Then I also started playing Monster Hunter, and this is actually a great reason for me to do a second recording for this. So yesterday when I did the recording, I don't think I had any footage. I don't think I had any gameplay on it. And then yesterday I started the game. I'm like, I'm just going to do the first mission so that I'm ready to do multiplayer with people. And then 5 hours later, I'm like, I like this game. And then so later today, I'm going to have to build a one-shot for a D&D campaign I'm playing later in the day. But then if times allow it, I think I might get some more Monster Hunter time in. I'm really enjoying it, and that's a really fun time. I'll have to see if I can make it a podcast game. I don't know if it will or not. Audio in that game is kind of important, and is kind of used pretty frequently. Good times playing Monster Hunter, man. Really good times. Playing it on the Wii, playing it on my 3DS. The only time I played it multiplayer was on my 3DS. I forgot what the boss was, but it was a black dragon that did poison damage, and also had some weird nether damage. And then one time before a final, I think it was my final for Introduction to College Chemistry. No, it was Introduction to College Chemistry. Was it Earth Science? One of my last semesters at PSC, I met up with a friend who I used to work with at Whataburger, and we played crossplay, I guess is what it's called when it's multiplayer on the 3DS. We won. We only got through one fight, and then after that it was horrible. But it was a fun time. I hope that guy's doing well. He actually went to University of Florida or University of Central Florida to become a doctor. Jordan Jones, cool guy. I also took Romeo was a teacher, human growth and development with him. Fun times. This week in media, I continued to listen to Lord of the Rings this week. That was probably my high point of the week. I'm really enjoying where they're at in the story. They're currently traveling through the West with Strider by their side. It's Aragorn. What's not to love about Aragorn? I just like how we're at the point where since there's traveling, they're just randomly songs and poems that the author is reading, and it's really made me into the idea of just having my characters in D&D just do lore. just like through like a song or something, and kind of just like going with it, because it's one of those things of like, oh, my voice isn't good enough for it. And then there's this guy who does not have a silky smooth voice or anything like that. He does have like a cool sounding voice, I guess, but so he's just like in like a tone of just like, and this happened, then it went on for years, and then after that this was the cause, and this was the event because of the cause. And then it's just, I'm like, this is cool to listen to. And this like makes it fun and gets me involved. Maybe I could get people more involved if I narrated some things in that way. I think I said this earlier. I was watching a bunch of like international recap and things like that. Really excited for the international. Next week is group stages, and then after that, I think it's the main stage event? Question mark? Answer? I don't know. There's like 4 teams. I'm gonna be happy if they win, and I think there's only like 16 teams there, so my odds are okay that I'll be satisfied with whoever wins TI. I also started watching or rewatching, I think it's called The King's Avatar this week. I started watching like episodes before work, and then the other day I watched a couple while playing Guild Wars. So actually what spurred me to watching this was that a couple of times since I moved into my apartment, I really just want to like sit down and watch something, but I still really haven't done much besides just like YouTube and Twitch, because those are things that like I actively do other things doing. I don't really do that with anime too much, except for it, the disregard that statement and what I said earlier about watching anime by playing Guild Wars 2. But so I was previously watching it on Kiss Anime, because way back when I was playing professional TF2, a friend of mine, Octa, had recommended that site because he had like a bookmark list on it, and you could keep track of everything, and that was just like amazing to me to be able to keep track of it. If this was what I had watched, this is what I'd completed, because then like, and I think this is similar to my twin brother does it with movies, and it's like cool, you got this catalog and this library that you can reference of like, oh yes, Paris, I was trying to be cool and like say like a Japanese name for an anime, but then I was just like remembering the first part of Attack on Titan, which is like Sengeki, I think it is. And then I couldn't remember the rest of it, so then I just went with something. So I said Parasite, and that just is like a weird noun just to throw into a sentence of like, oh yes, plague. But I guess that's anime for you. But anyways, I transferred all of, was it all of them or just all the completed ones that I watched? I think I still have to, yeah. Okay, never mind. Okay, about to say something that was infactual, but now it's going to be factual. I transferred all the animes that I've completed over to another site called 9anime, and then pretty soon, now that I remember that I forgot to do it, I'm going to transfer the still watching anime over there. And so that site is not cancer, and it's not AIDS. And so maybe I'll start watching some more anime recently. That might start watching some more anime soon. That would be cool. That might be fun. Really cool if that like coincides with me getting a new couch this Wednesday. But yeah. But anyways, so I was going through all the anime that I'd completed, and I'm like, oh dude, that one was really fun. And I enjoyed watching it, and I could probably watch it casually. So then I downloaded the episodes and was watching that. I have really fun memories watching that show, because that was back when my older brother was still married, and me and my younger twin were dog sitting his house while they were on a honeymoon. And so while we were working at Ace, which was also, that was when, since we were in Pensacola, I think we only had like a 20-minute drive, so we could leave like later in the morning. So we would wake up, like eat cereal, then just sit on the couch together watching the anime in the morning. Man, that was a good time. We also played Halo. I think that's some of the most fun I've had playing Halo. Good times. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, and this wasn't on my script, but we played a lot of D&D that summer, and D&D is something that me and my brother still have like in closeness. But I think when I think about my favorite part of the summer, that summer, which was last summer, it really was when we were dog sitting my brother's house, because that was when things were kind of the simplest. Things kind of got out of hand as far as like what was going on and complexity of social events, and I really don't think that they've gone back since then. And I don't mean to be romantic in that sense, even then during that week, things were still irrevocably complex. I think I was just allowed a certain ignorance of it. So yay for ignorance. So in this week, personal, like that wasn't personal, what I was just going through. I took finals this week, which was for the most part pretty good. I passed my classes, but it really did feel just more like arbitrary of like, well, I passed this class because the teacher did a bad job at giving good grades or bad grades, so everybody got the same grade. Woo. And then for my internship, I was supposed to get some evaluation back from my manager. That didn't come back in time, but that's okay because I got 100 on everything else. So I'm going to be missing 7 points, which means I'm getting a 93 on the test. Or sorry, in the class, for a 1-credit class. It's going to be awful. It's going to be terrible. This is why you do good in school, kids, so that you're okay when things go bad. So I'm thinking like I kind of want to redo the structure of this because I keep ending on this week personal, and like the last thing that I always talk about, I feel like is maybe like a little bit of a mood kill. So I feel like the honeymoon part of me living in an apartment is gone now, and there's really more of just like, I want to stop having to spend as much money on furniture and things that I do. I want to be able to have a repeatable monthly bill cycle that is the one that I planned, and there's just stop having these 100 and so random bills come up. I would like that, but that's actually not that bad. I would just like my apartment to be furnished, because if I feel so like a bachelor and like a dude who doesn't do anything but just reads internet articles about cybersecurity, does yoga and lifts weights or 8-pound weights, don't think too much of me, and like plays video games in my apartment in my free time. That doesn't feel rewarding to me. And I do hang out with people, and I do actually do a lot more now that I'm out here in Pensacola, but it's a percentage of my time. It's not the entirety. And so I don't know. I really don't know. But I figured this was coming, and this is just the season. I am confident in who I am and my abilities to accomplish things. So hopefully next week will be better. The odds are that it probably will be, because things are good. But I think I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you for watching this video and listening to me talk. It always is a pleasure sitting down and recording these.
Maybe you should come with me. You just play your song and I'll accompany. Always know the greatest things in life are free, so I invested my money in your company. Like where you wanna go, girl, I'll take you there. Let me put another flower in your hair. When I'm with you, I can't even have a care. Take all of my soul, I'm not afraid to share it.